Hello, welcome to lift class today. We're lifting, so you're going to need a variety of weights. Let me tell you what I took out, and then you can judge what you could take out as well. I have 5s because I'm going to be going a little bit lighter for some shoulder movement we've got, okay? Combination moves. So we're going to be taking our extremities, our arms away from our body. And so I grabbed 5s for that. You might even want 3s. Then we're going into a hinge reverse grip row. So you want something heavier for that. I grabbed 17.5s. Then we're coming down to the ground. I grabbed 8s for bicep curls. We're going to do a little something like a kneeling curl. So maybe not your heaviest bicep curl weight. So far I have 5s, 8s, 17.5s. And then we're going to need a single weight for a pullover. And then we're going to do a narrow press and a bridge. So I'm going to use my 17.5s for the last two moves, okay? 5s, 8s, 17.5. So equate that to you. Maybe it's 3s, 5s, and 12s, or 5s, 8s, 10s, okay? Just grab what you think you might need for today. Remember, we're going through everything 3 times. So the first set, grab the weights that you think you're going to use for that exercise. Just gauge it and go, okay, I'm going to use this. And then the second time through, you're either going heavy or light or keeping it the same. All right. So today's word is I am fearless. Start your watches, put on some music, get out a mat. I dive into life with boldness and freedom. So be fearless today, okay? Start your watches, water, sweat towel, weights, mat, clear space. Let's warm up first. You ready? You set? Let's go, okay? Combination movements. We're going, everything's 45 seconds. Starting with squats, coming up to our toes. I did tell you put on music, otherwise you're going to hear that ankle cracking. 45 seconds, 15-second transition. We're going through 6 exercises back to back like that, okay? And then we'll take a 30-second break in between each block of 6, okay? So the amount of repetitions you get done in 45 seconds is up to you. Remember, form is always first over speed, especially when you're lifting weights. We want to control the weights. Never swinging. There's going to be some swaying, all right, but it'll be on purpose today. Go ahead and take a reverse lunge, hold the pose, then twist, and then switch legs. If you feel like you're really losing your balance, step back to the back corner of your room so your stance becomes wider versus more narrow, okay? There's a difference when you're lunging between lunging straight back on a tightrope and taking your stance wide, lunging wide. It gives you a broader base. Step up into your front heel. We will be doing lunges today, so just make sure that when you lunge, you're stepping up in your front heel, back legs there for balance. I'm going to try and throw you off balance today, so we're going to activate our core in the middle of all these movements. Our core is going to be working the whole time, okay? Next up, let's just take a nice big side lunge, side to side, stand forward, take a reach and a reach, okay? So right, left, side bend, sway, sway, and if you want to hold anything longer, hold something longer. If you want to stay here, hold, and then stay here, hold, and then you want to come up and over, hold, that's fine. We're stretching out here, loosening things up. Tomorrow's class is more stretching, so make sure you show up for it. I have not decided what we're doing yet, but I'm sure I'll put something great together for us. All right, walking out to plank. Bend your knees, squat down, fingertips forward, palms to the ground, hands walk forward. Tilt your hips towards your chin, shoulder blades together, squeeze your butt, and then walk it on back. You can either go bent legs or straight legs. I prefer the straight leg for that extra hamstring stretch. Let's go down and out one more time. And now from here, let's go plank, down dog, plank, down dog. Hiking up your tailbone, pulling your heels towards the floor, big stretch to the back side. Starting to engage our core muscles. That's what I said we're going to be working today, okay? Then take a low lunge. Hang here for a second and get the hips open. And then, if you'd like to, you can open up. You can even thread through a little bit. Open up, thread through, so a little extra twist and our spine, and then switch legs, hang here, get the hips open. You might want to rock back and forth or just settle. Then when you're ready, thoracic spinal twist here, open, thread through. And let's walk it to plank. Walk your feet towards your hands, tip, toe, stay folded, chin up. Drop your chin, roll up. Awesome, okay. First set of movements goes like this. I'm grabbing my 5s. 45 seconds. Love me now, because I don't know how happy you're gonna be with this. Lighter weights here, because we're gonna lunge and front raise, step up. Lunge and front raise, step up. There is gonna be counterbalancing because we're going forward and backwards at the same time. Core work, think about that. Shoulders out of your ears. We are alternating legs. So lift, shoulder, weights come just to shoulder height, straight ahead of you. You are not shrugging your shoulders. You're not creeping them up into your ears, they're staying down. Push your front heel into the floor as you step up. Like right from the get-go, we start breathing a little heavier. As your leg comes back, your arms come up. All right, what if your like body coordination not working so well for me? You can always lunge, hold, raise, lower, okay? And then eventually you'll get to the lift and the lunge at the same time. All right, pause, turn out, nice big sumo, palms forward. As we come down, our arms come overhead. As we come up, our arms come down. This is totally controlled. I'm gonna switch to my 3s. I already feel it in my shoulders. So, totally controlled, down and up and down. As your bottom goes down, your arms go overhead. As you come up, the weights come down. You're drawing a giant circle, pushing your heels in the ground, shoulders stacked over your hips. Feet are wide. Definitely toes turned out. Yes, it's uncomfortable. As you come down with your arms overhead, try to keep, again, your shoulders out of your ears, long straight arms, slight bend in your elbow if you need it. Your weights might be too heavy. If that's the case, go ahead and stop. You can always just use your arms and no weights for that. Breathing, breathing, breathing. Next up, palms facing forward. We're gonna hinge, pull, lower, stand. Okay, so reverse grip row. Squeezing your shoulder blades together. Okay, toes forward, slight bend in your knees, butt back, pull, lower, stand. Hinge, roll the weights to your hips, not to your rib cage. Shoulder blades pull together. Squeeze the top, release. And if you're not bending far enough forward, you're gonna feel this more in your shoulders. See if you can bend forward, stick your chest out, butt back, and squeeze your shoulder blades together, that mid-back. You gotta think about it for a second. When you come down, again, a great way to do it is no weights. Pull, squeeze your blades together, hold, release. Then you'll start feeling that activation between your shoulder blades, okay? Down on the ground, you're on your knees in a tall kneeling stance, okay? This one's gonna be a little bit different. Tall kneeling, shoulders over your hips, knees are wide, toes are curled under. We're gonna lean back, curl. This is where the sway comes into play. Catch yourself on your quads, thighs, and glutes. Curl, elbows pinned in. It's a little sway. If you think about camel in yoga, it's pretty much what you're doing, okay? Camel curl. Feel your quads catch right here as you control your weights. Body sways with control. Weights are completely controlled. If your weights are flailing, switch them out. Abs are in tight. Did you feel everything there? Hopefully you did. Okay, next up. I'm just gonna switch all the way around on my mat here. Pull over, alternating leg, okay? So everything's up. We're gonna go one leg out, pull over. Other leg like you're stepping on the gas, pull over. Extend your leg, extend your arms. We should be feeling back and abs, okay? So the muscles that run right along your rib cage in the back and the sides, your lats, your serratus, your plank muscles, and then your abs as you step on the gas. If a full leg extension is too much, I want you to go heel tap, come on back. Bent knee, heel tap. You gotta promise me you're gonna keep your knee perfectly bent 90 degrees and not change that angle, okay? All right, time. We're moving quickly through these movements. They're combinations and some of them are more complicated. I get it, but you're gonna do your best that you can right now. One weight or two right at your chest. If you have two weights, you're gonna kiss them together real tight. Elbows are here. Weight goes up. As the weight comes down, your butt comes up. So we're gonna go push, press, push, press, okay? So we've got chest and triceps. As your elbows come out, press straight, out, straight. So this weight is not heavy enough. You should get the other weight and do two kisses together. And you might find that. You might be like, oh my gosh, I'm not feeling my chest at all. And it might just be that you need heavier weights. Or you're not feeling your triceps at all. And it might just be that you need heavier weights. Squeeze your butt, dip your butt. Squeeze your chest, lower, press, push, pull, push, pull. I think we've done that one before. Go ahead and stop. So it shouldn't be super new. We're doing it all over from the top. So 30 seconds to like gather yourself and go, what just happened? Let's do it again. So second set is your improvement set. You've done it once, now it's like, okay, I'm gonna get better at it. Move one is the reverse lunge with the front raise. We go in 9 seconds, okay? Oh, I'm gonna breathe. You breathe too. And lunge back, weights at shoulder height. Step up into your front heel. You're gonna feel a little bit of like a sway because you've got front and back going on. I need you to draw your belly button in. Shoulders stay stacked over your hips. Remember the option to hold, lift, lower, then come back in. You could do this without any weights. You could do this with one weight, okay? Sometimes that helps you even keep a better balance, okay? With one weight, one thing to focus on, two hands holding onto one centered weight. All right, switching out to my threes for the sumo half moons. You're drawing, you know, half of a moon. Toes are turned out, you're wide. Weight's gonna push in your heels, shoulders stacked over your hips, palms forward. As we come down, weight circle overhead. Push your feet into the ground, stand up. As you lower with control. As you push your feet in the ground and stand up, I want you to tuck your tailbone under, squeeze your belly button in. So we've got core work happening along with our legs and shoulders. Again, everything in this pretty much today has core work built into it. We will do our core bonus, but I want your core, abs, glutes activated during our work today. Consciously tucking your tailbone under, belly button drawn in, and time. All right, reverse script row. I'm gonna switch up my weights for this. You're gonna hinge forward like a deadlift, palms forward, slight bend in your knees, toes forward, okay? We bend, pull, squeeze, lower, squeeze your booty. Bend, shoulder blades, mid-back pulls, okay? So this isn't your biceps curling, this is your back muscles pulling together. I want you to think about shoulder blades kissing together in the back, weights coming towards your hip bones, okay? Chest leading towards the floor, butt back, slight bend in your knees. We're not locking them out. One more. Everyone stand up, take it to the floor. Tall kneel. I grabbed my soft mat for this, so make sure that your knees are supported. Knees are wide, toes curled under, supporting yourself. Elbows pinned in, curl, sway back, come forward, release. So you've got tall posture, you've got your glutes, hamstrings, quads, calves. You feel your abs right away. Again, you could try this with no weights, especially if you're new to this move. The heavier your weights, the harder it's going to be. I said, go a little bit lighter on your biceps for this one. Control it. Control it. You should feel your abs like just woo! And your quads. All right, let's lay down on our backs. Pull over leg extension. Alternating. Bent knee, straight leg. You gotta make that choice, okay? So weights are up. Or one weight, I have one weight. I'm gonna extend, pull over. Extend, lengthen through the core, pull over. Extend, pull over. Option is one heavy weight or two weights kissed together. I will tell you, when you kiss two weights together and you hold the handle, you'll feel it a little differently. It'll actually probably be a little more challenging, but that's okay. Keep going. Extend. Extend. You may also tap a heel. Keep that really good 90-degree bend in your knee though. Time. One weight or two. Remember, for the chest press, triceps, this narrow press, the weights are right tucked into your chest here together. Toes are forward, heels are on the floor, knees parallel. We're going to start with the weights up. As the weights come down, your butt comes up, and then you switch. It's like a steam engine. Chugga, chugga, choo, choo. Puffing like a piston. One up at a time. Butts up, butts down. Butts up, weights up. Okay? Squeeze your glutes. Squeeze your chest. Chest and triceps. I did a combination here to get both muscles working today. So we have shoulders, biceps, back, triceps, and chest, along with our legs. And go ahead and stop our core for sure. One more time through everything, okay? This is what I'm going to tell you. Breathe. Settle yourself and think about the movements. What's the best weight you can use for your third set? If you think you can go heavier, you need to fatigue yourself a little bit more, go heavier. If you think you need to go lighter, go lighter. If you're like, I want to do a fourth set of this, feel free to rewind and do another set when we're done, okay? Because some of you guys might want it a little bit longer. I don't know. Lunge, front raise. 45 seconds allows us 10 to 12 reps, depending on the movement. For that chest press bridge, it probably, in the pullovers, are probably closer to 16 reps. Okay, so that's a lot of repetitions if you're using the right weights. 3 times through, do the math. Tall posture. Think about a string pulling your head to the ceiling. Shoulders down and out of your ears. Step up in your front heel. Draw your belly button in. One more. Stay with those weights or switch them out for your half moon sumos. Let me come over here on this mat. Breathe. Nice and wide, toes turned out. Shoulders stacked over your hips, palms forward. Drop butts down, weights up. Squeeze stand, tuck your tailbone under. Belly button pulled in. Squeeze through your core. Butts and guts right here, along with shoulders, thighs. Take your time. Squeeze and contract through the movement. So my elbows definitely look bent. I promise they're as straight as I can get them right now. My elbows always look bent. I have wonky elbows. I'm always like, gosh, my arms don't look straight and stuff. It's been like that my whole life. It's just my elbows. It might be my beefy arms, I don't know. Okay, our bent over rows, reverse grip, hinge, row, stand. You're squeezing your shoulder blades and you're squeezing your butt, okay? So, hinge, chest to the floor. Weights to your hips, squeeze, release, squeeze. Fold, squeeze, release, squeeze. Fold, squeeze, release, squeeze. Chest is sticking out. If I put a broomstick on your back, would it be flat? Would it be hanging off your spine? Okay? Untuck your chin, look forward ahead of you. If you're looking at your toes, your neck is rounded, and that broomstick is not going to stay on your spine. It's going to be hanging off your neck, okay? One more. Coming down for your kneeling. I'm going to come this way this time. So I'm going knees as wide as my mat, toes curled under, shoulders stacked over my hips, lean back, curl. Elbows pinned in. Let your quads, that's the front of your legs, control how far back you go and lift you back up. Dig your toes into the floor. We are not moving our hips here, okay? This is from the knee, hinge back. It's so different, I know that. What's the worst thing that happens right now? Do a kneeling curl or just upright curling. Don't do the sway back, okay? Don't do the camel part. That would be the option. Just kneeling bicep curl, which changes the dynamic of the curl, doesn't it? When you're kneeling versus standing. Kind of crazy. All right, coming to our backs. Pull over leg extension. Last time of these, so make sure you're using a good weight. So I was saying if you're holding the weight like this, it's going to feel a little bit different versus holding the weight like this. Okay. And I said it's okay. Just know it's going to feel different. If you do have a heavier weight that you can do this to, try it. If you only have 2 light weights to make it heavy, then that's fine. In case somebody got to hold the handles. Extend. Belly button to the floor. And if the leg extension is too much or the heel drop is too much, just do this reverse tabletop hold with the pullover, okay? Especially as we fatigue. Some of you might be like, oh, my lower abs, my legs can't handle it. Go ahead and stop. So no, that's an option. I give you so many options, you guys cannot not do it. You cannot not do it. All right, kiss your weights together. Hold them at your chest. Let's go butts up. Bridge. As your butt comes down, the weights push up. Push, pull, push, pull. Butts, chest and triceps. Butts, chest and triceps. Belly button pulled in. Tucking your tailbone under, hips to the ceiling. Squeeze, press. Squeeze, press. This is like the yin and the yang right here, okay? We're going to stay on the floor for core work after this, so don't go anywhere. We've got 2 moves. We're going to repeat them each twice. And time. For your core work, you will not need weights, so put those off to the side. You've got 30 seconds to just sit and stretch. Breathe. Heart rates are up. Breathe. You may go down a little bit because you're on the floor. All right, this is what you've got. If you would like to anchor yourself on weights and they're nearby, you can. Otherwise, your hands are out at a T. Bent leg or straight leg, we're going windshield wipers. You go right center, left center. I'm going to go like a 45, what is this? Oh, like a 45-degree angle? No, this is not 45. This is like just past 90. Okay, so you can go bent legs, Keep your shoulders on the floor. The only thing that comes up is your hip. You can go straight legs, which is the hardest one, right? Because it's giving you a little bit more weight and a longer lever. So I'm going somewhere between 90 and 100%. Okay. I'm at like 105 degrees. I don't know. Do the math for me. All right, that was wipers done. Next up, you're going to take yourself into a crunch, and we're going to go cross reach with one hand. You're trying to reach over the top of your knee, alternating sides. Let's go. So it's a crunch. I'm hovering my head. I'm letting my shoulder blades come down, but my head stays up. And I'm going to just crunch one hand hovering over my knee. So I'm pretending that there's like something on my knee that I'm reaching for. Reaching, okay? Taking your time and lifting, not jumping or jerking. Now, let's say you're like, I can't get to my knee. Come to your thigh, okay? Just graze right over the top of your thigh. Does that make sense? It's hard for me to get to my knee all the time, especially as an abs fatigue. But I'm going to keep trying. Go ahead and pause. This is your pause time. We're going back to windshield wipers. So another thing you can do if you're like, I want to do my windshield wipers and I want to go straight legs, if you have heavy weights next to you, you can anchor yourself on the weights. It will help you if you want to do straight legs and you just don't feel like I'm there yet, okay? Use the weights. You can go a little bit deeper, keeping your shoulders on the ground. Does that make sense? Okay. Otherwise, you're here. The other option too, if it's really hurting your back, you can put your hands actually don't do that, that hurts even more. Don't do that. You can put something soft underneath. And somebody yesterday was like, this hurts my spine or my backbone. I'm like, well, you have no meat there, so if you're somebody with no meat on your back, lucky you, you can put something soft underneath your back, okay, if it bothers you. So we're thinking about the muscles that are right above the hip bone, between the rib cage, your lower obliques there, okay? Back to our crossover crunches. So we're staying head and neck off the floor. You're holding it up, engaging your core as you do it, and you're gonna reach over. So one shoulder blade comes up really high. The other shoulder blade kind of sits on the floor. Okay, we're going, so let's go. This is our last set of work. We'll stretch quick and get you out of here. Hopefully, and the feedback I got was you guys like combinations. It's been good to get everything done at once, a full body workout. Hopefully you enjoyed today. That's what I was going to say. I did. Good challenges, good movements, good combinations. It's good to challenge your bodies. And time. Go ahead and take a big stretch. Fingertips to toes. Ignore the beeps of the clock. And then let's go ahead and take one leg. Point flex. Point flex you can hold behind the calf or the thigh. Hold the flex. Take your thigh towards your chest. Bend that knee. Drape it across. Let's do a little torso twist. Oh, I got a back correction. A little glute back. And then let's switch sides. Extend your other leg up behind the thigh or the calf. Point flex. Point flex. Hold the flex. Thigh towards your chest. That is how tight I am today. This is far as I can get. Bend your knee. Twist it. A little glute stretch. So other arm is shoulder on the ground. You come back to center. Rock yourself up to sit. And then crawl your way up to stand. Maybe a little forward fold here, and then drop your chin and roll up. Let's open up our chest, shoulders, chicken wing it back. Take an arm across and down. And stop that timer. Switch. And then round out your spine. See, curve it out, side to side, center. Release, inhale. Exhale. At this point, you've calmed down, cooled down hopefully. And if you need to do extra stretching, please do. I will see you back here for more stretch class for mind.